This video, I'm not gonna be talking too much about theory, a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna be talking to you directly, musicians. I've been playing for about over 20 years, and I play different churches, different style. And there are certain things that I've learned. If I had to start today, what I would be learning first as somebody who has played for a while. And with my experience, I've learned that you have to learn the right chords. You have to learn, of course, some theory. You gotta go ahead and do your practice every single day. Like I always say, do not practice for 5 hours in one day, then skip the next day, then skip next day, then do another 2-3 hours another day. For example, if I'm doing this little lick, for example, I'd rather just do that for 10 minutes today. For example, in the key of C, then I do it in the key of C sharp, you know, just repeat it many times. Do it in the key of D, do it in the key of E flat, E, F, and so forth and so on. So this is extremely important. You have to practice consistently. You have to continuously practice what's right instead of just practicing anything. So just be consistent. In the churches I've played in, I started with classical music, so I read music, but I felt like it was a bit too more, I was constrained in a place where I had to just, when I have the hymns to read the song, I had to just go and keep going like this. So, and then I felt like I was limited. So as a musician who have years of experience, you know, of course, I don't play fully professional. I do practice and play right after when I get home, and also on the weekend I play in church, and I've been doing it for a long time. So I do have experience when I hear people play off keys. They start in one key, next thing you know, they are in the, you know, like from C, now they are in all the way in E, E natural, like they skip 1, 2, 3, 4, they keep going up. So you gotta be able to develop your ear. You definitely need to have good ear. Now, never be shocked when you hear somebody play extremely well and you are not at that level yet. The reason I tell you is because, first of all, they have never gotten there just today and tomorrow. No, it took them years of practice. Some of them that you guys call geniuses, they actually do spend a lot of time practicing and master what they're doing. For example, if you have the song It Is Well With My Soul, now you're gonna if you put 100 musicians sitting right there, they are going to play differently. They're gonna have different chords. They're gonna have different passing chords. They're gonna have different ways of adding some colors, some little nice slurs, licks, and all that, gospel slurs and licks in them. So don't be intimidated when you hear them play something really nice, you know. And so it took them a while. Somebody had taught them, or they've learned watching somebody, or probably hearing somebody play. So never feel discouraged when you're playing. What you need to do is, whatever you're doing, practice them, you know, step by step. Do not play. See, if I'm doing this, and I'm gonna do it in each key, you know, and I go here, I do the same thing. Key of E, key of F, key of C. So practice that, because if you start comparing yourself to anybody else in this world playing, you are going to stop. So you have to be consistent, know what you're doing. Certain things takes a while. Of course, you need a mentor, somebody to help you, and that's what we're here for. So never feel like this is too much. If you feel it's too much, you're gonna give up, okay? So take it one step at a time. And certain things you're not gonna learn in one day or in 1 month or 1 year. It takes a lot of time and practice for you to get better, all right? And also, as a musician, you definitely learn to always improve. Listen to songs, gospel songs. If gospel is what you want to play, you need to listen to the songs, because in the songs, most of those musicians, what you actually want to do, they do them in those songs. They actually do those things in those songs. So you need to listen. So, but for you to listen, you have to develop your ear. So you have to understand when somebody play this, you know, you have to know what it is exactly and how to play it. Okay, you gotta understand that. So if you have, for example, you have a regular C, E, G, right? Okay, this is, you gotta know this is a 7, and you gotta know that this is like a sharp 9. All right, and then that's why when you hear those chords, you like, oh, okay, I know what it is, and this is a flat 9. You gotta know the sound of flat 9 in every single key. You gotta know the flat 9 in every single key. So that's why you gotta practice this. Okay, practice it in every single possible key. So that's what I do. And if I have this also, I know this is an inversion of what I just did before. This is a C7, it's like a C13. This is the 13 right here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and flat 9. So this is a C7 flat 9. So because I know this is a C7 flat 9, this is also a C sharp 7 flat 9. Hear that? This is a D7, D13 flat 9. This is a E flat 7 or E13 flat 9. Okay? So understand chord extensions. All right? So you gotta develop this kind of understanding for those, so you know. See, all I'm playing now is I'm just practice them in actually going up fourth in all the keys. All right? It's the same C13. The 13, I call it 13 flat 9, so that when I'm here I know it's C sharp 13 flat 9, and this is D 13 flat 9, so forth and so on. So you gotta understand, develop your ear is one thing. You gotta know when somebody do this. Now we're not dealing with major chord anymore, we're just dealing with minor chords. You see, this is minor chord, and then if I add something to the minor chord, see, now this is C minor added 9. You hear the sound? This make it the 9. This is the C7, right? C minor 7, 9. So 8, 9, 10. Somebody tell me to play 11, D minor 11. I just do this, or I could just invert it. See? So with my years of experience, I've learned how to hear those chords. It's not that you hear this person play, you're like, oh my goodness, this is a genius. No, they know it, they practice it, they actually put some hours into it. And what you can do, start with minor keys. So my years of experience have taught me. So what they have taught me is actually, when I hear those chords, I know what they sound like. I know. Okay? And I have, this is 9, 10, 11. See? So whether I invert it right here, it's the same chord. So what do you see now? Can you see that what you need to do is practice your inversion and learn how to listen to them? See, if somebody say play a D minor 9 for me, however I want to voice this, well, you know what? Let me just put different ways to voice it. Let me show you. See, this is the 9, right? So this is D minor 7, right? So what I can do, I could just do here. See, this is that, make it the 13, right? And I could just play here. This is still a D minor 9. It's just inverted. You're gonna have different sound. It's a lot more open. Okay? So know what is a minor, know what is a major, and if with the with the 9 right here, this is still D. See, this is D7. Why this is D7? Dominant, right? This is the 7th. Well, I'm sorry. Here, this is A7, right? And this is the 7, then 9. So now that was a A minor 9. Wherever I want to put this 9, I could put it here too. This is still a A minor 9 because the 9 is right here. It becomes the top note. Or if I do 7 instead of minor, it becomes a D 7 added 9. It's right here. 8, 9. I'm sorry, not D. A, 7 added 9 is right here. And this is A regular, A minor. What makes it minor? Because this is minor, and then this makes it major. Can you see? Minor, major, minor, major. All right, you gotta understand that. So see, I can even do this here. See, this is A minor 9, this is D minor 9, and then this is a G sus. Why this is a sus 4? Because this is third here, 1 2 3 4, then go back to C. Do the same for every single key. So you gotta learn how to hear those chords. You gotta learn how to hear them. And when you practice those every single day, you know. And then of course, somebody you are playing in C, somebody just went like this. You're like, I don't know C sharp. Well, yes, you gotta know it. What you gotta do is just go ahead and practice your C sharp. You know, get your scale of chords. You gotta practice them, right? And the same thing I did for the key of C natural. Here, this is the 9. So however you wanna voice it, okay? See here, I have here, that makes it minor. This is right here. This is B flat minor, but there's that 9 added. You can hear that 9. Can you hear that? Here too. See, E flat with 9 added. Where did 9 come from? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. That's right here. Okay, go back to this. Okay, so you gotta know those things, know them, and then once you start practicing them in one key, you go to the different keys, and all the keys. What happens is when you're playing in A, you can do a lot of inversion, a lot of stuff, because you know all the keys. You get familiar. It's all about being familiar with all the keys. So those are what teaches me. After I've been playing for so many years. I sometimes compose songs, sometimes I play with praise team, and we do rehearsal with different songs. Listen to them. Sometimes you go and listen to what the musician in the original track, what they're doing. And a lot of them, they're doing some pretty nice stuff. And this musician that you call JonasKeyz, oh, this guy is, man, has some kind of superpower. Actually, they've been practicing listening to those things. And then now we have YouTube where we can teach you, but before we didn't have it. So you had to develop your ear. You had to watch somebody. You had to hear somebody play something. And you know what? I want to play that. It sounds nice. But by developing your ear, that would definitely help you, you know, become a better musician. So my years of playing in church have taught me a lot how to deal with different singers who are going off keys, right keys, wrong keys, different ranges of vocal ranges. And also you have to learn how to improvise on the spot. You got to learn how to improvise. You know, you cannot just play without just what you can see, because what if the sheet music flies, you know, drops, and then you're like, no, I don't know. I mean, I can't play. No, just your ear. Your ear will give you what you need to hear. To hear. Learn the different progression, the chords, where they're moving. You gotta get used to playing, knowing the chord progressions, because this is a map that's guiding you where to go when you are playing. So I hope this helped you. This is not a formal lesson, but I wanted to lay this out, and I hope that you learned something. You know, learn different chords, learn different chord substrate quality. You know, the major 7, the minor, you know, the dominant 7, the sus chords, you know, and then add some extension. The extension will definitely add flares. I hope you do learn something just by watching this. And if you do, just I have a lot more. Just go subscribe. And I have a Patreon page where you can support me, and that's where I'm gonna go deeper with using sometimes a grand piano that I have at home, just to teach you exactly what I'm doing and how to understand, you know, as a gospel musician, as a church musician, how to play in church on the spot, accompany somebody, play the 2-5-1, the 6, the 7-3-6, which is very common, and also the different licks, the different gospel nice movement that you hear in those songs or those musicians are doing. Just subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. I know I talk to you heart to heart as somebody who actually want to play in church. I myself been playing in church for a while, been hired in, sometimes I play 10, 15 years at one church, or even some 20 years, but also have some gigs at different churches and also had some bands. So I have experience in those things. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment and see you in the next lesson.